Some say this film pioneered the battlefield supernatural genre, the director directly placing humanity's deepest fears onto the bullet-riddled battlefield, its starkly contrasting shots skillfully guiding the audience to watch the entire film. This legendary film is none other than Deathwatch, released in 2004. A friendly heads up, the film is packed with high-intensity moments. Watch it with your friends right away. The story begins in 1917. As fighting between British and German forces intensifies, countless soldiers perish in this battle. The cause of such high casualties wasn't just the relentless hail of bullets, but also a far more terrifying presence: the barbed wire sprawling across the battlefield, yet most easily overlooked. Any soldier falling into it faced consequences worse than death, and the film's eerie elements fully revolve around this barbed wire. In this minor battle, Charlie's squad survives, but before they can feel relief, they spot thick, poisonous gas rolling towards the battlefield, the soldiers hastily donning their gas masks. Yet, they were still too late, soon completely swallowed by the toxic fog. Miraculously, they weren't killed by the gas, instead surviving until the next day. It wasn't until a soldier tripped and lost his mask that they discovered the truth about the gas.
It's bloody.
The poisonous fog had long since dissipated, allowing the soldiers to finally relax. Sadly, their relief was short-lived because another dire problem emerged. They were lost. The dense fog seemed to blind them, no matter which direction they walked. They always ended up back at last night's battleground. Sergeant Bramwell ordered the squad to split up, each man searching in a different direction. Just as they were about to give up in despair, one soldier made a discovery. He found 3 German soldiers in a German trench, the volatile Thomas firing without hesitation. Seeing things turn bad, one German soldier immediately fled deeper into the trench. Soon, the whole squad gathered in the trench. Yet strangely, the captured German soldier didn't beg for mercy, instead urging them to run, warning them not to stay. However, the squad didn't grasp the severity, dismissing it as panicked rambling. Little did they know, they would later pay for this thought with their lives. Bramwell believed this trench was a hidden German outpost, now captured by them. A significant achievement. They must hold it and await orders from HQ. Thus, to narrow their defensive perimeter, they blew up several trench branches, unknowingly also destroying their escape route. As the explosions echoed, Charlie and the others left satisfied, failing to notice blood welling up from the mud. Soon after, Charlie, while on patrol, was the first to notice something was wrong.
That's a German bayonet. Were they fighting each other?
Clearly, no answers were forthcoming. Everything continued routinely until a radio transmission shattered the calm.
What is it?
Location unknown. We need urgent support. Over.
Y Company!
Yes, Y Company.
What does that mean? Why are they
It's a
saying?
mistake. It's a mistake. There was...
No matter how Bramwell shouted into the radio, the person on the other end acted as if they couldn't hear a thing, repeatedly insisting that their entire unit had been wiped out, until finally the transmission was cut off without mercy. Though bewildered, Bramwell, to prevent panic, ordered the radio operator Anthony to keep it quiet. Night fell quickly. Charlie and another soldier tried to move the German prisoner Friedrich to a cell, yet Friedrich refused point-blank to enter the cell, even attacking a soldier. The injured soldier urged Charlie to kill him, but the kind-hearted Charlie ultimately couldn't bring himself to do it.
Why kill him? What good that can do anyone? He's scared.
Friedrich stared at Charlie for a long time, then surprisingly walked into the cell himself. They thought the dangers were contained, but unexpectedly, Barry on watch duty noticed something odd. 3 figures suddenly appeared at the trench's end, their movements stiff and unnatural. Barry cautiously approached until his flashlight beam illuminated their faces, revealing the true horror. All 3 had barbed wire piercing through their skulls, and as he raised the alarm to the squad, unbeknownst to him, the barbed wire on the corpses began to move again. A piercing scream soon echoed back to the camp. But when the others arrived, they found only a corpse with barbed wire through its head. The squad finally felt a flicker of panic. They asked Friedrich if more accomplices were hiding here, but his answer was that something evil resided in the trench.
Nous devons partir tout de suite ou vous mourrez tous, crois-moi. Vous vous attaquerez et personne ne survivra. Nous ne sommes pas l'ennemi. C'est cet endroit. Il y a quelque chose de malin ici, au-dessous de cette tranchée.
Though not fully believing Friedrich, they grew wary of the place. So early the next morning, they tried contacting HQ again, but unfortunately received no response. Bramwell, determined to find the hidden enemy, decided to pile all the dead bodies together. Just then, a soldier suddenly noticed a corpse in the corner had opened its eyes. Clearly, this was the one who attacked their comrade last night. Thomas fired instantly, ignoring Corporal Tate's protests, determined to scalp the body. Charlie witnessed this scene with deep unease. Since Thomas entered this trench, he had changed into a different person, becoming cruel and bloodthirsty. Yet the other comrades seemed oblivious, still diligently moving the corpses. Soon, all corpses were piled together, ensuring no more enemy ambushes. The squad's tension eased considerably, yet before long, a sudden artillery blast snapped them back to reality. Immediately, intense gunfire erupted and seemed to target their trench, drawing steadily closer, making every squad member's heart pound in their throats. In his panic, Bramwell even mistakenly shot a comrade who suddenly appeared. Strangely, as this chaos subsided, the outside fighting sounds also ceased abruptly, as if designed to make them panic and turn on each other. Charlie sensed something was off and tried to persuade everyone to leave, but Tate firmly refused.
The captain says we hold his trench, so we're gonna sit tight. You're gonna sit tight.
Unaware that greater danger was slowly closing in on them, night fell quickly. Charlie was abruptly awakened by a gunshot. Meanwhile, Willie, who had fired the shot, seemed to hear countless German soldiers mocking him, the voices surrounding him until he snapped, firing wildly. Then a massive cloud of red smoke surged toward him, soon leaving him disoriented as he fled the trench, finally muttering about monsters. Sadly, he didn't get far. Charlie was shocked to discover that the one who fired the shot was Anthony, and unable to make sense of it, he went to confront him right away. The fallen Willie wasn't dead yet. Sheer will to survive drove him to crawl desperately back toward the trench. Horrifyingly, something monstrous stirred beneath the earth, rushing toward him. Just as Willie neared the trench, the creature seized him. Tate could only watch helplessly as Willie was dragged underground. Charlie confronted Anthony, demanding an explanation, but Anthony replied that death was waiting for them all. Ignoring Charlie's attempts to stop him, he then ran straight into the darkness. The harrowing night finally ended, but the terror had only just begun. Charlie understood the peril best and pleaded with the others to escape. They began to waver, but Bramwell sought glory from holding this position and refused to retreat. Yet during their heated argument, they overlooked the most volatile one, Thomas, who seemed to reach his breaking point, nailing Friedrich to a wooden beam in no man's land, threatening hidden German soldiers to show themselves. Strangely, no matter how he tortured Friedrich, there was no reaction from the surroundings. Charlie, unable to bear it, tried to intervene, but was held back by comrades. Tate also felt pity and moved to stop Thomas, but Bramwell halted them, even demanding they form ranks and count off in the cramped space.
Muster the company if you would.
Nothing to inspect.
Orders.
Oh, for God's sake, man.
Carry out my orders! This is not the time!
As tensions peaked, Charlie stepped forward first.
Private First Class Shakespeare falling in for inspection, sir! Corporal Fairweather falling in for inspection, sir!
Thus, Charlie averted a sudden internal conflict, yet despite this, Bramwell still seemed dissatisfied. Because he noticed Thomas was also absent from the inspection, Bramwell then made a fatal mistake. He found Thomas and demanded why he hadn't attended the inspection. But Thomas showed no trace of his former obedience, violently knocking Bramwell down and drawing a dagger to attack him. Tate rushed to intervene but was too late. The deranged Thomas had already plunged the dagger into Bramwell's abdomen. Seeing the danger Thomas now posed, Tate decided to kill him himself. Tragically, during their struggle, Tate was thrown onto barbed wire, its sharp strands trapping him. Seeing this, Charlie charged out.
Quick! Don't do it! Please!
It's a bit late for heroics, isn't it?
But Thomas, consumed by bloodlust, couldn't be stopped. Fortunately, Charlie acted decisively, yet as he prepared to shoot Thomas, a bizarre sight stopped him. Barbed wire emerged from the mud like living tendrils, encircling Thomas, swiftly coiling around his body, even piercing his skin and burrowing into his flesh. Unable to bear it, Charlie shot Thomas to end his suffering, but as he turned to leave, Friedrich called out to him. The compassionate Charlie didn't hesitate, freeing Friedrich and even giving him a weapon for self-defense. Now only 3 remained. Charlie urgently needed to find the others. Shockingly, Anthony had bound the last comrade with barbed wire. He dragged Doc before Charlie, then pleaded, "Kill me now. I can't control myself anymore." Doc also urged Charlie to shoot. But Charlie refused them again. Anthony instead killed Doc. Consumed by guilt and rage, Charlie charged at him. Thus, Charlie became the sole survivor, yet the horror continued. The pile of corpses behind him began to collapse. Sensing danger, Charlie tried to flee, but barbed wire sealed every escape route. Then a deep pit slowly opened, devouring everything on the ground, including the trapped Charlie. Much later, Charlie awoke from unconsciousness, surveying his surroundings when voices conversed behind him. Charlie whirled around to a ghastly sight. His long-dead comrades gathered around a meal, their former wretchedness completely gone. Finally, Charlie even saw his own figure among the squad, the impossible scene shattering his sanity.
I'm not dead. I'm not dead. I'm not dead!
He finished speaking and sprinted away into the darkness. Mercifully, Charlie soon burst back into the familiar trench, but this time, Friedrich aimed a rifle at him.
I tried to help you.
You did, Charlie. Only you tried to save me. That is why you're free.
Friedrich then pointed to a nearby passage, signaling him to climb the stairs. Before Charlie could ask what lay outside, Friedrich had vanished. Thus, Charlie finally escaped the nightmare, reborn into freedom, while Friedrich remained seated in the trench, awaiting the next arrivals.
Yeah!